Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel and welcome to the very first Business Bites episode of 2019. Now I know it's March, but I was a little bit slow to get started, but this episode is going to be a good one. I'm going to look at the business opportunities that lie for 2019 and 2020 in 10 different cultural trends that I've identified in the market at the moment. So if you're interested in getting a big slice of the business pie, then stay tuned. Okay, now this is part one of the series because after I went through and filmed everything, I realized that I have over an hour's worth of content here. So I've decided to break it up into 3 parts. So this is episode 1 and you have to come back to grab episodes 2 and 3, so make sure you subscribe. Okay, now number 1 in the list, and this is in no particular order, is our desire to personalize everything. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like the more I try to stand out and be unique, the more like everybody else I seem to become. I think we're all scrambling to find our own unique voice in the marketplace, but with Instagram and everything just being so transparent, we kind of all have become a bit like each other. That's just my opinion. So this has given rise to the identity crisis of us wanting to personalize everything to make it unique and special. Now, this is not necessarily a brand new trend. It's been around for quite a few years now. For example, companies like The Daily Edited, which is an Australian company, give you the opportunity to, put personalized names and monograms on their leather goods. Designer retailers like Louis Vuitton have been doing this for years. But I think what we're seeing now is that personalization level is getting down to an even deeper space. Especially relevant now in the cosmetics industry. You're seeing people being able to blend and customize their own lipstick shades to match their skin color, foundation, and even now shampoos and conditioner. All you need to do is go to the website, fill out a questionnaire, and you can get your own custom blended shampoo and conditioner directly delivered to your home with your name on it as well. So what does this mean for business? Well, of course, if there's an opportunity to pivot a business model and make it more personalized, then you're on to something good. I think that there is still quite a bit of disruption in this space to be had, especially now that data mining is becoming more accessible for smaller businesses. We've got Facebook and Google selling data. We've got customer CRMs that we can see how our customers are behaving, so we can personalize experiences. In terms of what business opportunities lie within this field in the future, I think that obviously cosmetics will continue to grow, more personalization around being able to blend your own perfumes and that kind of thing. I think that health and nutrition will also benefit quite a lot from this, with people being able to blend their own supplements, blend their own proteins, even down to meal services and things like that, which I get into a bit more later. I also think that there'll be growth in the area of ateliers and artisans, because people will want custom-made items that are unique and special that you can't find anywhere else. So they'll be willing to pay for things like beautifully designed clothes and leather goods and vegan leather goods and things like that. In the food industry, again, this is already pretty much disrupted, but more options to DIY or build your own meals without a surcharge will probably be something that we see too. Okay, now number 2 in the list for me is actually around social isolation and loneliness. Now this is something that I can personally attest to, because ever since I started working for myself and working from home, I've completely removed the social aspect of that work day. Now, many people believe, including me, that social media has actually made us more antisocial. Before, if we wanted to talk to someone, we'd pick up the phone or send a text or, just check in. But now, if we want to know what someone's doing, all we have to do is open Instagram and we can see their videos and their photos and get updates on their life without even talking. Now, I think this has actually made things a lot worse, because we're missing that human element. There's no engagement, there's nothing. We're just left to our own devices, and sometimes you don't even know if there's a problem. This focus on mental health has given the rise to online counselling services like BetterHealth, who are able to connect people with the help that they need, therapy, psychology, remotely via Skype or via video call, which I think is incredibly amazing. Now, BetterHelp itself has had a few issues in terms of hiring therapists who are accredited or who are not. I don't know what the truth is on that matter, but if we look at the industry as a whole, I think that this is something really amazing, and this is something that's definitely going to increase with time. For those of us who work from home like me, Co-working spaces have done amazing things globally. You know, this gives someone the opportunity to get outside of their house and meet and mingle with people who share similar views as them and have a similar lifestyle. It actually gets us social and away from our devices and off the sofa, which is incredibly important for self-esteem and self-worth. Another one that I think will continue to grow is actually cat cafes and pet cafes. Now, we all know that pets can do amazing things for the soul, and a lot of people, like me included, live in rental properties, so we're unable to have our own pets. So it's a really nice idea that we can get out and go and spend some time with these animals, feel relaxed, but not have to worry about our landlords kicking us out. Following on from the cafe, I actually think we'll see a rise in human rental services. Now, I don't know the proper name for this, but what I mean is that I think that you'll start to see more services around engaging in human contact. Things like massage services that actually aren't remedial based, rather they're in place to give people the human touch, especially if you're single or you don't have any family, it's been a long time since you've had any human contact. I think we'll see a rise in this niche so that people can get that, you know, that extra human feeling. Carrying on from that, I actually think we'll see more and more things like Rent a Friend, where you can pay someone to spend time with you. These are things that we're seeing in Asia at the moment, and I actually believe that these will continue to grow more and more in our society today. Now, following on from that, to continue to support ourselves emotionally, I think that the product related sector will still grow. So I'm talking about things like those weighted anxiety blankets, which are heavy, which are designed to, you know, cuddle you and make you feel better. I think that will continue into other things. I actually think that conceptually, anything that we can use or that is used now to soothe a baby could be pivoted to soothe an adult. You know, things like rocking chairs. I mean, maybe we'll even see things like beds that can rock you to sleep, or vibrating beds, not in a dodgy way, but vibrating beds that have the ability to kind of soothe you. Carrying on to that, you know, anxiety often causes sleeplessness. So things like, I don't know, films that can go over the windows that are controlled by an app that can make the room completely dark, noise cancelling technology that can silence a whole room if you're living in a city that's quite loud. Anything like this that can improve mental well-being, there is an area for growth. Okay, so now number 3 in my list is biohacking. Yes, I think that in our quest to understand where we all came from and what our purpose in life is, this has given rise to biohacking. So I'm sure you've heard about it. You can get your DNA tested by companies like 23andMe or Ancestry to find out exactly where you originate from, how you came to be, what makes you up, all of that kind of thing. Now, these companies also offer services where we can get down to a genetic level to understand if you have a predisposition to a genetic disease, whether you're predisposed to have a bad sleeping pattern, whether you're going to go bald, if there are food intolerances. There is quite a lot of data that can be collected from this. Now, most of these types of services use saliva, so you spit into a tube, you send it off, you get tested and you get your reporting back. And some also do blood testing at home kits. So you sit down, you get a blood test, you know, you prick your finger, put it on the thing, send it off, and they send you back reports. Now, one Oakland-based company called Habit has actually managed to capitalize on this genetic testing. What they do is they send you a kit to your house, you do the test, and they offer you back a custom-made meal plan based on your genetic markers. So you can optimize your health to another level with the science behind it and eat exactly as your body desires. Now, I think this is pretty amazing. I do want to ask one question. I don't have the answer to this, but I want to pose a question. What do all of these companies do with your reports, DNA analysis, once they've given you the report? What happens with it? I'm just going to leave that there. Actually, Nestle in Japan is also doing something similar for their ambassador program. If you're a member of this ambassador program, you can complete your at-home kit and they can identify markers with you in terms of high cholesterol and these sorts of things, and in return send you supplements, smoothies, anything like that to improve your overall health. Which I think, you know, in one way is pretty amazing and in one way is kind of scary, but I think it comes down to what they actually do with the DNA. Now, in terms of business opportunities as a whole, for me, the next logical step from a company like Habit is to even grow into the meal distribution space, whether it's delivered fresh to your door or, you know, made on site, or you have a restaurant that you can go to. Things like, you know, we've got HelloFresh and companies like that that send the meal kits based on your eating style. You know, if you're paleo, vegan, veggie, whatever it is, they can send you the kits to your house. So I think, you know, Habit, maybe they're already planning it. They've got the opportunity to take it one step further by actually giving you all the food as well as the plan and the genetic testing. So what other business opportunities are available? Well, I think it will continue to grow in areas like supplements. So, you know, if we're talking about personalization, like I mentioned earlier, I think things will obviously come down to a genetic level, so you can get tested on genetically and find out what things you should be putting on your skin, what products worked best with your skin. Supplements, again, custom blended supplements based on your genetic code. All of these have room to grow. I think that obviously the weight loss and health industry will benefit highly from this, because people will be able to tailor make exercise plans and understand all of these genetic markers that may be, you know, restricting weight loss. And I actually think there's one area of growth too in terms of travel, because now people are understanding where they came from. It only seems natural that they'd want to go back to these places and try and find lost family members or understand more about their culture. So I think there's an opportunity here in the travel industry that you could create like almost like an ancestral pilgrimage back to wherever it is you came from to just understand yourself on a deeper level. So I think that's, you know, that's an interesting one that can actually come out of this biohacking revolution. Okay, so that wraps up part 1 of this little mini series. Now make sure you subscribe and hit that bell notification so that you know when part 2 is ready to watch, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.